Can I stop ignoring you? What is this on for?
Wait, who's next?
Not the person you want to record. Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, oh, sorry.
Wow. No, don't.
You know what's terrible? I forgot my child was one of the features tonight. How could I forget that? No, you know, we've been talking a lot this week about the Nahuatl idea of Inamichuan. It's the idea of the Nahuatl, the Mexica. You want to be colonized by, call them the Aztecs. But their idea of reality being built on doubles, right? Not opposites, but doubles. So this particular set of doubles tonight I think is very special, that we're having Maria and Soledad read, because the two of them, for me, just have a certain balance. Soledad has been rejected from almost every single publication she's submitted to. Am I right? Latinx publications. So there you go, there's the balance. And I say that not to be mean, I say that because there's different roles for poets. You know, y'all remember that last part in The Savage Detectives when they're coming out with that big anthology. What? I'm sorry, but here's what happens. There's a big ass anthology of fucking the poets of Mexico, right? All of them, the big dogs, and none of the fucking infrarealists are in it. None of the Bolanos, none of the Mario Santiago Papascuaros, none of them. They street poets, y'all. They're out there connecting to the community. They're out there representing these parts that aren't normally represented in literature, and they're just as fucking as important as the poets winning awards. For real, y'all. I say that in the spirit of Alfonsito Textedor in a big way. So it's very, very profound to me and important having this next poet here that I also forgot was reading.
Thanks. You told me to do this.
Soledad con carne is a casually queer, intergalactic, Oakland, Ohlone-based chicanx punk poet, working poor, multiple high school dropout, bookstore lackey, poet laureate of the San Fernando Valley, and blatant smoker sharing trauma with their mother. Familia, give it up for Soledad con carne.
Trying to get a picture of me with my beard because we're posting these videos on YouTube for the channel for medicine, so I brought it with me.
Nice,
so,
nice, thank you.
All right. An eternal heartache lives in the 818. On Van Nuys, my heart breaks each day just to be reborn at night. I spend the best parts of the mornings rebuilding myself for the new cycle to pass by. The next 24 hours are set in a reality where the days are sweet. The scent of lavender emanates from each bushel that grows from the concrete. I walk the only boulevard I've ever known that connects me to each love I've ever shown the slightest bit of myself to. The aisle seat on the Metro bus offers me a temporary reprieve from the fatigue that it comes with carrying around my Tupperware heart, filled with the shifting weight of disappointment and relief. As the bus schedule permits, I meet a new love on every stop of the 233. They take my heart in the seat next to me, and when we part, they hand me back my Tupperware heart. I watch the boulevard glide past me from the window seat as I wish I had someone else to miss, and someone else to miss me. While the evening breeze holds me up on wobbling walks home, I greet each stubborn tree root, lifting the sidewalk from underneath, as an elder who has always been watching every era of me. Layers of my skin are embedded into that same spot on the street, where I've skinned both knees as I've fallen in tears and in love and in laughter after trying to catch falling leaves. My skin is constantly being rebroken, open and tender. The cells collect and rebuild the callus that protects every phase that my head and heart and soul will ever be. A sudden burst of rain from the night sky comes down onto Van Nuys and greets me with the gift of a flood, a random blessing bee. I go from drowning in between parked cars on flooded streets to being the liquid in the womb, ready to birth another day and another me. In a weekend days, so much of the day spent rotating between desk and bed and cigarettes, tears and smiles, and I overslept, tears again, and rivers run over my cheeks while streams run through my veins and ideas run and run and run, all the same, and I scream. I smile, I spin, twirl around, sing, dance, laugh, spin, fall on the ground, cry, scream, laughing on the ground, cry, hug myself on the ground. And I say I love you out loud just to hear the sound. I love you just to hear the sound. This one was recently aired through nepotism on the radio. What is happening? Did it?
It's the time of the night when they start shotgunning beers.
We're shotgunning? Okay, so we're shotgunning beers in the children's section now.
Norman's the lawyer, y'all.
Woo!
Yeah.
I wanted to make a joke, but I'm not going to make that joke. This next poem was aired on the radio through nepotism because my father runs a radio station.
Finally! Nepotism for brown people.
Nepotism for brown people. She's not brown. Thank you. Mimi said I was her favorite Nepo baby. That was for the YouTube video, just so everybody. A familiar sense of divinity. I found God on the 405 at Food for Less and a burger and fries, during a laugh late at night while wiping cum off my thighs, in conversations on bus benches while holding on to old questions, when walking through crowds on my way to meet with old friends, and after leaving for who knows how long again, smiling with your dilated eyes, each time God says hi, after passively observing, each time God says goodbye. Yeah, that was basically my valley poem bit, and now I'm going into this next generation of soledad con carne, which is just me writing the Bay, me being like, oh, I'm not sad in the San Fernando Valley, I'm sad in San Francisco. Or Oakland, it's for Oakland. Yeah. Year of the Dragon 2024. Daydream about the truthy girl that haunts Fruitvale evenings, jaguar-spotted eyes and hoops the size of the moon, an Olmec nose and a poet's heart she rips out of her own chest, wraps in a silk serape blood-stained from her mother's wounds, with a laugh that greets the sun in morning, stumbled to bar after tripping on a lotto ticket that matches the scratch I found earlier in a pile of neglected relationships, sent from a friend to wish good fortune on this year of the dragon, and won, $18. Ticket on the ground is a near-perfect match except for its losing numbers. Contemplate taking it home. Contemplate you. Through the static crackle of the BART speaker, make out the words, don't be a loser, leave you both behind. Me and Hector did this collaborative thing recently. There's a video of it on YouTube. You can find it. But part of it was it was a prompt thing, and one of the prompts was write a poem describing somebody that you care a lot about and cares equally as much about you. And I chose Lourdes for this poem. It's just called For Lourdes Figueroa. She wasn't there when I read it. She was late to the reading. So I'm reading it now because she's here.
Love her less now.
I love her more. She's tried. She got there. She was just a little late. Traffic's crazy. For Lourdes Figueroa. Palo Santo smoke sways along to tunes by Jan Tiersen, swirling with hits of marijuana, mariposas, marimachas. UFOs dance with a clouded serpent and lapis lazuli colibris, wrapped in burgundy and pitbull fur, and chocolate strands of hair. I love you, Lourdes. Okay. I just got two more. This doesn't really have it's some poem about punk stuff. I wish more poets were punks, because all punks are poets. There's poetry in the chaos we consume by way of tall boys in alleyways and lines of misery railed in bathroom stalls. The exes stigmatized on underage hands, fists connecting to thrashing bodies in pits of indignant rage that we embody collectively. Bring mosh pits to the open mic. Start every poem with 1, 2, 3, go! End every set with a Dios grito just to put some familia in it. You ask me, why do you shave your head in religious ceremony? Bleach your eyebrows to oblivion? Pierce your skin in an ancestral fashion? Let the holes in your clothes grow and grow into portals no one can hide in? I look at you, straight as a stripe, crying the old glory blues, the only stars you can see bleached white, and wonder the same. Let's drop acid in the Museum of Tolerance. Chaos walk through Calabasas, make blackout poems with every white author's work at LA Central Library, so maybe they'll finally be saying some real shit. Stick and poke revolution for all black and brown people, end every centuries-long genocide, free Palestine on America's forehead. She's been stuck in whiteface for too long. You've been stuck for too long, 'cause I know you're crazy, I know your strife, I know your longing, I know your cries, and the poems you don't read, and the words you don't scream, and the lies you tell yourself. I know your fear of being seen. Release. This last one is also from me and Hector's thing. It's after Mustard by Raul Ruiz. I think y'all got copies in the store right now, right? Mm-hmm. It's a beautiful chapbook. Like, it's amazing. Raul's such a great poet. But yeah, so Pomelo. I know I'm an exit sign, misplaced, in a San Francisco Victorian already on fire. My first existence was a light breeze from a butterfly's wing and morphed through millennia into the overplayed song on the radio of unmatched aggression, growing into a 27 Club depression. I chain smoke longing rolled up in poppy flower petals and cross out the same lines from my silly poems that mention how I still look for you, in the shape of storm clouds and the cracks in the streets after the earthquakes, and singing from Herbie Mann's flute, and in the ads on the backs of buses I run after, missed, because of my loyalty to my stubbornness, but just a few minutes. I should say I'm sorry. I didn't know much about the bitter feeling of not remembering a moment shared with someone too drunk, until she couldn't recall a kiss to a song she and I spent years thinking no one else could hear the frequency of. I didn't think I'd be such an angry bookseller. I didn't mean to be such an angry bookseller. I always ask Butterfly how she's doing when I run into her in Kerouac Alley. Guess what bookstore I actually work at instead of the one I hang out at. She always says happy. I never know how I'm doing. I doubt I'd ever say happy. The customers ask me what I'd recommend out of all the books in the store. I know they really mean out of all the European literary tradition. I say I only read authors of color, when I really mean I only read poetry written by the people I love. They ask me where to find Howl, and if I was a healed poet that day, I'd slide them over Untrip with a mind gel instead. Yeah. They poke and prod and scream, how are you here? How are you, Brown? How's the food at this strip of restaurants you can't afford? How do you come for your elders after they're forced to leave the neighborhoods they grew up in, after the rent raised and salted the earth around them? How are you changed by the weathered poet's manifesto you consumed on an empty stomach and distressed attempts at dreaming? How are you changed after feeling the softness in the mild-mannered mister's poems, with only missing in your heart, while desperately seeking familiarity in sepia-toned pictures of grapefruits, mistaking them for orange groves? Thank you.